Well, hi everybody. It's NARCh Live. Glad to have you along for this one. I'm Nick Gismondi alongside Jeremy Ellis as we come to an end of day number 2 of the NARCh Finals from the rinks in Irvine, California. Jeremy, you've been kind of our man out of the studio, running around, doing some interviews, obviously doing all the skills competitions. Are you all right? I mean, you got to be exhausted even by day number 2.
I'm definitely getting my steps in.
Yeah.
All right, I might be, cheating a little bit, but I'm definitely getting some steps in. So I've seen a lot of terrain out here this weekend, for sure.
Obviously, we're right in the midst of sort of finishing out the round robin for a lot of the premier divisions. Obviously, 14, 18 we talked about earlier is wrapping up, and obviously the pro round robin is starting to wrap up as well. I want to kind of start there. You've had a chance to really put eyes on some games, and I think, based on what we've talked about, Palma has impressed, but to nobody's surprise, Teward Black Ice has looked fantastic as well.
Yeah, Black Ice definitely looks like the team to beat right now. All right, I know they have a couple injuries. KJ Tiffenworth has been banged up a little bit. He had a groin issue, so he hasn't been 100%. And they've had some goaltender, kind of filling in here and there. Machinsky didn't, he got out here late, but they are putting points up on the board. They're getting goals on the board. They're getting great defense. They're running their game. It's a puck possession game. They're able to do it out here. I mean, let's face it, it's a hot rink too, right? So you're going to try to really grind down your opponent. Black Ice looks good, but the team that I'm really keeping an eye on is the Skittles team.
Sure.
I mean, how about it? These young guys are really stepping up. First time that we've seen them in the pro division. And Palma had to battle back just to tie them in that last game. But the Skittles, I mean, they're an upstart team. I know they were complaining about their schedule right at the beginning. But they have been strong and taken on all comers. So that's definitely a team that I think that you want to keep an eye on. Let's face it, we've seen this Black Ice team really be at the top of the mountain for a long time. It all started when we had our first NBC Universal.
Yes.
When they upset, a team and they came in on that 8-9 game. Could the Skittles be the next Black Ice team that just gets over that hump and makes a run in the playoffs?
Well, as we look at the standings for pro right now, you have to think that the diversity between these two teams and between Whip and the Air as round robin starts to finalize. I also, you can't count out what Palma is trying to do, and that's certainly an impressive thing because this is a team that's filled with a lot of local California guys. They've had some changeover, but I think that the feeling in the Palma room is that if we're going to win a championship, it's got to be this one.
Yeah, I mean, they have been trying to get back to the top here for quite some time. For where obviously years ago, this is a factory team that just, produces winners. But they're trying to get over the hump. And, I mean, they've got all their guns. All hands are on deck right now. Travis Snow's here. Junior's here. All those guys that we've become used to playing on this Palma team, no excuses this time. They got to get the job done if they want to get back to the top.
All right, more action will be coming up from the pro division, so you're going to want to stay tuned on that. Of course, tomorrow morning we'll be joining back with you to talk about how it all played out and to set up the playoffs for you. Going to be a very exciting day tomorrow. Let's switch some gears now. The other premier division at every NARCh Finals in the summer is always that top-tier 14U Platinum and Gold division. What have you liked so far? I mean, obviously the Angry Ducks stand out to me, but you've seen some games there. Is there anybody that really impresses you as we look at the standings for 14U Platinum Gold?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Angry Ducks, they're the one team that's undefeated without any ties on there. But this Tour OC Blades team, getting to see some of the kids in the skills competition, they've got some speed on that team, all right? And the 14U is really a unique division in roller hockey because conversely, when you get to the pro level, you're playing puck possession games. These 14U kids, they just run and gun. And if you got a fast team, you can pull off upsets left and right. And I really want to keep an eye on this OC Blades team. I mean, right now they're the 1-2 seed, so they won't meet up until the final. I think that'd be a great final, both those teams got there.
All right, Jeremy, we have a lot more to talk about. We're going to take a quick break, but when we do come back, we'll touch on the 14U Silver. We'll update you on some skills competitions, and we have a special interview for you coming up as well. Don't go anywhere. Jeremy and I will be right back here at the rinks in Irvine right after this quick break as we continue to wrap up day number 2 of the NARCh Finals for you from Southern California. with you here at the rinks in Irvine. I'm Nick Gismondi. This is Jeremy Ellis. Pleasure to have you along for this one as we are continuing to wrap up day number 2 of action from the NARCh finals. Doesn't quite feel like day number 2. So much has transpired over the last 48 hours, and we've updated you a little bit on pro. We touched on 14U Platinum and Gold, and now I want to touch on Silver and Club. And I think it's important to remember, lots of people come to NARCh, and whether it's your first time or it's your 50th time, winning NARCh, no matter what division you're in, is a monumentous task, especially with the talent that's out there. And with that in mind, we take a look at Silver and Club, and I've been very impressed with that Inferno team.
Yeah, that Inferno team, they come from a hockey hotbed out there in Pittsburgh. I believe they play out of the Gerger's rink, and the Gerger family is obviously one of those big families in roller hockey. The boys play pro. I think a couple of them aren't here this week, but one of the younger brothers is playing either on Roadrunners or one of the teams in the pro division. But that rink and that family, I've actually been out to that rink. It's a 2-sheet facility outside of Pittsburgh. Great rink. They have a very, very strong program. I want to even say that we've done some regionals back there years ago. But yeah, that Inferno team is impressive. But the thing about it, so we're going to split that division. So they have 8 teams in there. So we're going to split it from the Silver and the Club. So there's a couple teams that really have a chance to do some stuff in there. I want to keep an eye on that Outcast team, depending on how they shake out, if they come up into the Silver part of it or if they go down in the Club. Mm-hmm. But really, it gets to be a toss-up. That Tour OC Blades, Team X, all those teams are right there with that Inferno team. Even though Inferno hasn't lost a game yet, I think anything could be up for grabs once they seed it out in that Silver division.
Well, big championship day coming up tomorrow here from Irvine. We'll have all of those highlights and information for you too as that day progresses. And the skills competitions, as we've always talked about, one of my favorite parts about being at NARCh. I used to be out there announcing. Jeremy's out there announcing now, and he got to do a few today, including the women's skills competition. And Jeremy had a chance to catch up with the winners in an interview we did earlier.
All right, we're back here just fresh off the Corey rink. Jeremy Ellis along with our 19 and under and women's skills competition. I've got 2-time winner, Ash Princeton. Not only did she take home the top skater, but also the top sniper. And Ash, I got to tell you, you were a full second faster than anyone else out there. I mean, come on, are those illegal bearings or wheels? Like, what's the secret?
I don't think I can give you one. Can't tell everybody else how to be fast as me, but Is
it if you tell me you're going to have to kill me?
Yeah.
All right, so top sniper competition as well. It really came down to the end. You were going to the well quite a bit on that 5-hole, but you had to switch it up at the end in order to take home the championship.
Yeah, I think that's just my go-to move, but they kind of got the hang of it, so I got to change it up just a little. But they got the hang of it at the very end, so, but...
How about Katie Miller here? She stopped you to win that top goaltender competition.
Good goalie right there. Yeah.
All right, so Katie, congratulations, because Ash, her teammate was right in the running there, but you were able to stop Ash, who was unstoppable all during that competition. What did you do to win that competition here today?
Drink my milk and eat my vegetables. Work hard.
You heard it here first. Drink your milk, eat your vegetables. All right, so have you done these skills competitions before, and has this been the first time you ever won it?
No, I've done it before.
You've won it before, so this is old hat for you.
Sure, yeah.
So is there any room left on the trophy case for this one, or what?
We'll move them over.
Make sure you dust first before you move.
Oh, they're clean and crystal clear right now, yeah.
All right, not only are they good hockey players, they're also comedians in training, all right? Ash Brinson and Katie Miller, congratulations to both of our skills competition winners.
Good stuff as always there, Jeremy.
They're funny.
It was great.
They're funny.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Have a good time, enjoy it. I loved that we were talking during that. The fastest skater, she probably could have put up a time in the 18U division earlier today.
She was quick. I think all the other girls saw her go the first time, and they were like, man, I don't even know if I want to race right now. That's a foregone conclusion that Ash Princeton is gonna do it. She said she's headed out to Massachusetts, I believe, for college next year. So keep an eye out for her. I think she's going places.
Good for her. And again, hats off to Alex Morrison, who's done so much for women's hockey, especially here in Southern California, especially for that high Q program. It's been very exciting to watch, and the growth has just been really impressive.
Well, Ash came all the way out from Michigan.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're getting girls from all over the country now, and, once you make a name for yourself and what Alex is doing out here and the girls that he's got working for him as coaches, big things are going to happen. You're going to attract good talent.
Very impressive stuff. We got more coming up here on NARCh Live as we continue to conclude day number 2 of action from the rinks here in Irvine at Irvine, California, in beautiful Southern California. Beautiful day. Cools off very nicely in the evening. It was a little,
thankfully,
a little sticky today.
Yes, it was.
Back with you here at the rinks in Irvine. I'm Nick Ismandi. This is Jeremy Ellis. Pleasure to have you along. NARCh certainly attracts so many professionals, and one of the fun things about that is the crossover from the high-level ice players to the roller level and vice versa. Certainly a notable guy in this tournament this year is 2015 Stanley Cup champion Scott Darling with the Chicago Blackhawks. I had a chance to catch up with him earlier today. Back with you on NARCh Live, Nick Ismandi, joined by 2015 Stanley Cup champion Scott Darling, and I got to bring a former Blackhawk into the mix as well if we're talking roller hockey and hockey in general. Scott, thanks so much for being with us. Your first foray in playing roller hockey, you're playing pro with the ESW Cows. What's it like? How'd they talk you into it?
It was kind of out of the blue, and me, I'm just sitting home, and I was like, it'd be fun to try out. No promises, like if I'm good or not, but it's just something fun, new to try, and it's been a blast being down here. And I played my first game, thought I did pretty good. We lost 2-1, but it was a good effort. But yeah, roller goalie is a lot different than ice hockey goalie, so but it's been fun.
That was my next question. Is it more just about your lateral positioning because of the side-to-side movement, or is it just because it's maybe coming a little quicker? I mean, I can't come much quicker than the NHL, but what would you say the difference is?
It's just the rollerblades. It's you can't shuffle and then you can't slide. I keep trying to shuffle, and I almost fall over. Like I'm gonna snap an ankle one of these days because like in the heat of the moment. Like when it's slow, I know I can't shuffle, but when it's desperation and like you're trying to get somewhere, you can't shuffle, you can't slide. It's just the side-to-side stuff's very different.
Tell me about what you think of your first experience here. NARCh Finals is always a big event. There's always a ton of people around. It always kind of has that emotional feel to it. How has the atmosphere been for you? What do you think about playing hockey outside and a little bit of California heat?
Yeah, I mean it's been fun to be here. Just like. Reminds me of like tournaments, like I haven't played that pro, but like growing up, it's tournaments. You got the, different levels. All the kids buzz around, see little goalies, and it's a great atmosphere. But it is hot. I was sweating when I was playing. Unlike anything I've ever done in goalie gear, I was dying. Thank goodness it's only 2 15-minute periods, but it's been a lot of fun.
Let's talk about your career. Obviously, a ton of accomplishments, highlighted by a Stanley Cup in 2015 with the Chicago Blackhawks. An incredible run that organization went on for several years. Just looking back on that and the emotions of having your name engraved on it and being a part of a team that was as storied as the Hawks were back in that time. What was that experience like as a hockey player?
Yeah, for me personally, it was amazing. I'm from Chicago. They're my favorite team. Still are. Still root for them. And then, just kind of the way it worked out, like being a fan for the first two, families at the parades, and then the third one, you're on the bus, So it's kind of like fairy tale-ish the way it worked out. That was the first NHL team I got to sign with, and then, luckily, good year to sign with the Blackhawks. That was my rookie year in the NHL. So it was amazing playing at the UC, sharing it with all my family, being a hometown kid. It was the best.
It's an experience like no other at the United Center for the Anthem. I try to tell people about it, but it's just something you have to experience in person. When Jim Cornelison is belting it out and the entire place is on their feet just losing their minds before the puck is even dropped.
Yeah, the Anthem's great. I remember it was like, for me, my first game was like, don't cry, like you're gonna be on TV, don't cry. Like, yeah, I remember that vividly. But yeah, it was very cool, great place to play. We had the best fans, and we were winning when I was there for those couple of years. So we joked that the team went downhill after I left, but not saying that's true. But no, it was a great 3 years, and I'm just happy I got 3. I would have played there forever, but just lucky I got 3.
Spent some time this past season as a free agent navigating a very weird hockey world in general, I would say, across all levels. Major junior in Canada, not even playing, the NHL on a weird schedule, the AHL doing weird things as well. How did you personally navigate what was an awkward year for players, broadcasters, fans, everybody?
Yeah, it was bizarre, man. Like, I was down with the Panthers. I went down early. I was down in Florida because like everything was shut down in Chicago. But in Florida, you could go to the gym. Obviously, there was protocols. So I went down to Florida, training there, getting tested every day. You know, my nose is never going to recover because originally they just had the brain tickler, you know. And so I did that every day I feel like I got tested every day for about 4 months. And so I was down in Florida, did that. That didn't work out. Their AHL team, Charlotte, decided not to play this season.
Right.
So then I went to Rockford, the Blackhawks AHL team. Did that for a few months, but I was commuting from home to Rockford every day, driving an hour 40 each way with 5 goalies,
a lot.
And get tested every day, and it was just so bizarre. And a couple months in, I was just in the way of these younger goalies trying to progress their career, and I knew mine was kind of over, so I just was like, hey guys, thanks for the opportunity, it's been fun. Good luck with everything, and I was like, I'm gonna go home now. So yeah, and then after that, it's just been staying at home. And my wife's a COVID nurse, so I joke that I'm double quarantined because during that time, she didn't want me getting exposing her, and she was always afraid of exposing me. And I even joked that because I played in Europe the year before, I was in the epicenter. It popped off in northern Italy. I was 20 miles away from northern Italy. So I was dealing with it like for 3 months before it got to the States. I texted my wife because she was back home. I'm like, what's a COVID? Like, she didn't even hadn't heard about it or anything. So,
wow.
And then they started quarantining like parts of Innsbruck where I was playing, and I got home like 4 days before the travel ban. So like I just made it home, and like so I joke with my friends. I'm like, you don't even know. I've been dealing with this forever. You don't even know what it's like. So.
Well, listen, does this mean that they're going to see you around the roller hockey rink more than that?
I don't know. I mean, I do like it. I got to get better, though. I need a little practice. Like I said, it was my first time ever playing roller goalie in that game, so I need a little practice.
Well, listen, you are a rock star. It is always fun watching you play. I've enjoyed it from your time in Carolina to Chicago, and it's a pleasure getting to sit down and talk to you, and I'm looking forward to watching you out here play some roller.
Yeah, we'll see. Hope this one goes as good as the last one.
Scott Darling, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup champion, Scott Darling, now a pro in roller hockey out here at the 2021 NARCh Finals. We got more of NARCh Live coming to you from the rinks in Irvine right after this. So awesome for a guy like Scott Darling, a kid, a Chicago guy who you knew growing up, watched as a fan for 2 Stanley Cups in the Hawks' heyday, and then to come away with a win there in 2015 and go from watching the parade happen to being in the middle of it.
Yeah, and he's just a good dude.
He's a great dude. Yeah,
like this is the first time he's ever played roller hockey. You could tell he was like, man, this heat is not my forte. All right, but yeah, it was cool. I had a chance to talk to him real quick after. He's trying to open up a bar right now and doing some stuff back home. So that's awesome. Glad he's sticking around Chicago. So hope to see him around home much often.
Yeah, could be very cool. All right, as we get ready to say goodbye, playoffs tomorrow for pro. Any quick thoughts on what you might expect to see? Is it going to be a sleeper this year?
You know, I may be going out on a limb here, but I think there's going to be somebody just kind of put a fly in the ointment and make a run here that no one expects. And I think we're going to see a surprise final. I don't know which if it's going to be 2 teams or 1 team, but I think there's going to be a team in the final that no one expected at the start of this tournament.
Tomorrow on around 9 o'clock, right in that general realm, we will have our next edition of the show for you. That'll be coming up at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Link in the bio. Make sure you click on that, and also you can get notified when we are coming live. And then, of course, you can always watch these back after the fact as well. But we'll have the pro playoff preview all set for you tomorrow morning. Any final thoughts tonight from you, Jeremy?
I just thought it's been an awesome 2 days of hockey. It's nice to have the rinks just running, not all those little incidents and things like that are going on. Everything's kind of running like clockwork. Teams are out here, they're having a good time. People are here for the first time. Love to see the smiles on everyone's face. It's great.
Hey, it's nice to be back with you too, partner.
It is,
It's been
man.
a minute. For Jeremy Ellis, I'm Nick Gismondi. Day number 2 of the NARCh Finals concludes. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time for Day 3 coverage, starting with that pro playoff preview. For Jeremy Ellis, I'm Nick Gismondi saying so long from the rinks in Irvine.